Welcome back to Keeping Your Real Estate Business on Track. Today we're discussing one of the most important but often overlooked relationships in real estate, the builder-lender partnership. In new construction, when the builders and lenders are aligned, everyone wins. When they're not, missed deadlines, frustrated buyers, and broken deals. Our guest today is someone who's worked through both the wins and the war stories and is here to share what makes a builder, lender, agent team run like a well-oiled machine. Like and subscribe if you want faster builds, smoother closings, and happier clients. I'm here today with Lisa Steele. She is currently a sales manager at Viera Builders. She's a former realtor in Brevard County with Keller Williams, and she specializes in new construction, relocations, and investment properties. She's best known for her responsiveness, her negotiation skills, and her deep local knowledge. She's originally from Alabama, lived in the Pacific Northwest, Hawaii, and Guam, and she's a longtime Brevard resident and active community supporter. Thank you so much for joining us today, Lisa.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, it's a pleasure having you. So we partner in construction, new construction, specifically with Viera Builders. How did you make that transition from general real estate over to working with a builder?
I got the opportunity through one of the sales managers, and she highly recommended me. She only said she had two people that she would choose, and the other one couldn't do it, and because of her, as far as her commitments at home.
Yeah.
And I jumped at the chance. I was so excited. I'd worked with Viera Builders on the buyer side many times.
Yeah.
And I just got the opportunity and jumped at it.
Yeah, that just goes to show you how important those partnerships are in general real estate as well as in new construction. So wonderful. One of my first questions that I have for you is, from your perspective, what makes your partnerships with industry professionals successful?
Trust.
Oh,
communication.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think about when I'm with a buyer, a potential buyer, and I'm with them for maybe up to, if they're really engaged, 3-4 hours in a day.
Yeah.
And then I gain their trust. They trust me, my knowledge, understanding of the process. And then then they say, okay, we have a pre-approval with our cousin in Miami. He's a loan officer. All righty.
Oof.
Exactly. And then I say, oh, well, you might, these are this preferred lender, Morgan Financial. And then when I've already built that trust with those people and have built that relationship, mm-hmm. and I want to know with confidence when they give somebody a call that they're not going to say, oh, go to the website, or don't answer the phone for 2 days, because that's a reflection on me.
Oh, sure. The customer service side of things, too. There's nothing more painful when you refer somebody, whether it be a lender, an insurance person, any professional that's a part of your team and business, and you refer them and that someone leads them to a website where they get zero actual white glove service or customer service.
Or they just don't answer.
Oh, even worse.
And then that's the last reflection they have of me.
Right. We're all in this together. So in the new construction process, when and how should the lender be looped in to avoid delays?
They should be looped in all aspects, obviously from the beginning, and then also to be able to tell people from the beginning, because what we do is you have to pay your deposit at a contract, and then we have 50 days to pay your second deposit. And so during that time, that's the time that they need to be really working with their lender during that 45-day to make sure that they're set, that as far as before they take that next step for that big deposit.
Yeah.
And with that, a lender who will talk to them and say, we really need, it might be an 8-month build process, 10-month build process, or if it could be an inventory home, it could be 3 or 4 months. Talk to me before you go buy a Maserati. Talk to me
yes, please.
before you go co-sign a loan for your child.
Yeah.
Because we don't want any surprises at the end, and that's for our buyers.
Mm-hmm.
And then then they say, if you do decide to buy, going to buy a new car, let me know, and then we'll run the numbers and just say, oh, okay, thumbs up,
mm-hmm.
so that there's no surprises at the end, because they've made a substantial time and financial obligation, and that's not fun for anybody at the end.
Sounds like you've had some surprise ones in the past.
Just a couple.
Just a couple. I love that. So have you ever had a deal fall apart due to lack of coordination between the builder, lender, insurance, or any other business partners? And what was the lesson learned there?
Yes, definitely. The lesson learned, well, yes, because they got they were a little bit frustrated already. I mean, that sometimes happens, obviously. What do they say? Concrete, you're going to get frustrated during the process and concrete's going to crack.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then they got to the lending process and they were already not, a little bit like, and then the lender just they'd promised them one thing in the beginning and turned to a whole different story at the end, and they just said, forget it.
Oh, it killed the deal.
Killed it completely.
Oh,
they
gosh.
didn't even want their money back. They didn't want anything. They just wanted to walk away because they were so frustrated with their lender.
Yeah. Well, walking away from money, that's a pretty big red flag,
Yes.
right? So how do you choose your business partners and who you prefer to work with on all of your communities at Viera?
Reputation, being local.
Mm-hmm.
And, people I've worked with in the past that I know, like, go back to our first question, that's going to give good service. That if you turn them over, you refer, because that's a reflection of me when I refer somebody.
Certainly. Yeah. Reputation is huge, especially in a small local community like Brevard. We're growing exponentially, but we're still very small town in, all of our relationships. So I think that reputation piece is key.
Yes, and before we started talking, we were talking earlier, we talked about how, Morgan Financial, when I was a buyer's agent and in general real estate and a listing agent, especially when it's a seller's market, you don't bring a pre-approval to the table from like I said, somebody's cousin in Miami or something.
The big box or
the big box. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Morgan Financial, when I saw a letter from them, I'm like, yes.
That's
that
great.
carries so much weight.
Yeah, that's wonderful to hear. So last question for you. What's one thing that lenders or business partners can start doing today to better support builders and agents in the new construction space?
Back to communication. Mm-hmm. Communicate with us. Let us know. I've had where I didn't know what was. I was on the listing side and I didn't know what. I thought everything that talked to the buyer's agent, everything's fine, till boom, it's not.
Yeah.
And that lender was spinning their wheels behind the scene and not letting anybody know. And that catches everybody off guard.
Yeah.
And communication is key, especially with the builder, because we are very organized and we have the processes and communication and what once you drop it, once you lose it, it's hard to get back as far as trust and.
Very true. Is there anything that any of your business partners should stop doing?
No, because we don't partner with anybody.
Good answer. Awesome. So one final thought for you. What is your favorite local restaurant in Viera?
Urban Prime.
Urban Prime.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Lisa. We appreciate your knowledge, your expertise. And for anybody that's looking to purchase in Viera, please give Lisa Steele at Viera Builders a call. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please, if you haven't liked and subscribed, share with any friends that this might help elevate their real estate business.